You're talking about the unbearable weight of
Unbearable weight.
The unbearable weight of
massive talent.
there it is.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
own
movie.
that shirt too.
Yeah, it's a damn good movie.
I haven't seen it, but I feel like that's gonna be peak Cage.
Oh yeah, not even a
If you want
question.
Pete Cage is Willy's Wonderland.
I mean, you're probably right.
I think you mean the Wicker Man.
No, because Nick Cage doesn't say a single word in this movie. Just heavy breathing from him. A lot of grunting.
All right, right on. All right, so you guys ready?
Which one are
one
we
first?
on first?
We're gonna start with Arc, which we are already recording for. Yeah.
So anyway, Nick Cage and a banana.
Yep. Hello and welcome to the MegaMonsterCast, where today we are talking about episode 6 of Ultraman Arc. I am Nick. With me are Alex and Josh.
Hello there.
Hi.
Before anyone can say anything, I am very hoarse because my job has required me to be talking most of the day. But yeah, this is like a solid emotional episode of the series.
Yeah, this one got me in the feels.
Mhm. So yeah, I guess in order to start this episode, we get kind of like a glimpse of some sort of alien working on something. We're not really sure what it is at the start of the episode, but by the end we learn it's a feat of probably both impressive and insanely complex engineering, considering what this thing is fucking run off of.
I mean, the engineering around this has got to be impressive. It's
Well, this is the
incomprehensible.
true future machine, so.
Well, we find out that this fuel source is more abundant than you would expect.
More abundant
Human
for us.
flesh.
Yep.
That's less abundant than you'd expect.
No, you can find a lot of it.
Not galactically.
Yeah, so
Yeah, you're right.
so yeah, this is
Apparently you can find mushrooms across the galaxy.
yes. Yes, you can. Um
They are magical.
so this is a pretty shoe heavy episode.
Yeah, we find out he's racist against aliens.
Which kind of makes sense.
This felt like an immigration narrative.
Yeah, no, this is 100% like I mean the dude literally works in the space kaiju department basically. Like he heard there was an alien. Well, guess I'm gonna go border patrol this shit.
Time to go harass a minority.
100% what that is. So
And
yeah,
I liked Shu so much up until this point.
I mean he gets to kind of redeem himself a little bit at the end.
Yeah, he becomes a lot less racist.
Yeah.
He learns some imagination by the end.
Yeah. Yeah, that phrase. That thing that we're gonna hear for the rest of the series.
Word.
It could be worse. It could be worse.
I hear SpongeBob say it every time.
It could be worse. I can think of 2 characters from this franchise who have worse catchphrases. Hashtag
Can I say
smile smile.
Oh no.
That's one I'm
It's a
gonna put
sumo
off.
wrestler that does it.
There's also happy.
That
Taco
seems
Tuesday.
so out of place.
The second one kind of works. Like I've warmed up to the Rube a lot. I'll say that. I didn't like it when I first watched it, but it's grown on me. I don't think Trigger's ever going to grow on me. But yeah. So Skip is going to investigate some happenings at an inn in the countryside, I believe.
They're specifically investigating earthquakes,
hmm
right?
I mean,
This was
yes, and by the end of the episode, no.
Right.
But yeah, they're there to figure out some happenings that are going on. And when they get to the inn, they are greeted by a very friendly man who, in no way whatsoever, will turn out to be an alien that Shu gets super racist against.
I was gonna say this
that's
episode gets
oddly
pretty
Pacific.
intense. I mean, even before they get to the inn, like there's this huge foreshadowing sign that we just kind of glossed over. It's like, yeah,
The alien and the
back
mushroom
back
sign.
16 years ago, there was a UFO that supposedly crashed here. No, in BD.
Yep,
Uh,
like a literal sign, yes.
I mean, it is.
Uh,
And then
God.
Shu's like, "Oh, no big deal," but UFOs just set me off. I'm sitting there going like, "Oh, it's like the minute he said, "Oh, UFOs just set me off," and just storms off for no reason, no explanation, no backstory, nothing. I literally said out loud like, "Oh, this is gonna be a Shu episode."
yep, yep. We've had
Well,
episodes.
joke's on you. Sue's father was killed by a UFO, so of course he's racist against aliens.
Yep.
Why is that always the first story we always hear? Like, I have a tragic backstory. Oh, your dad got killed by somebody? Okay, cool. You're Batman. All right. You know.
Yeah. It's
No,
because
his
it's
mom
Batman.
stayed alive, so
Now we're gonna find out that his
at
mom.
most he's Robin.
Now we're gonna find out that his mom was killed by a separate group of aliens later on.
No, even better. Turns out she was the alien that killed him.
Oh, what a twist.
hmm She
Never
inter-
seen that before.
she was an alien who killed his dad, and then she was killed by an alien that turned out to be like the neighbor, and it's gonna just keep being like people who are like connected to him killed off by other people connected to him that are also aliens.
Turns out he's the last
One
human being
long line.
alive.
Yep,
And at the very end, the twist is he was also an alien the entire time.
yep.
Oh yeah, that's season finale territory
Oh
right
yeah,
there.
100%. Yeah.
Turns out he was the Ultraman we met along the way.
So we get this fun little like introduction to the people working at the inn. Um, we get Numa, who is like the guy who's
Numa,
running at
hey.
the front desk, and he's super friendly and very personable. And of course, he's going to be the alien that Shu is immediately suspicious of.
Yeah, everybody bows, but Shu's just standing there stock still, just like, I will
You-
kill everybody in here if
you
I get
all
a
are
whiff of
beneath me.
alien.
Yep. If one of you guys is a fucking alien, I'm going to kill you in front of the other. Like I'm looking at
To
it.
be fair, the innkeepers do an exceptionally bad job of sounding human. Even the human sounds like they don't know what humans sound like.
Well, they live up in the mountains.
They live in the mountains, and I think that
They're hospitality people. Like it's
I think
How
it's
many Airbnbs have you been to where the people just don't speak good English or mountain speak?
how many Airbnbs have you been in where there's people there?
I think this is
Two.
also a
That's
situation.
terrible.
I think this is also a situation
Turns
where
out they
like
weren't Airbnbs.
you find out that like he's been there for a while. I think this is like a meet each other halfway situation where like they've started they've started to pick up his mannerisms as much as he's picked up theirs.
Oh, so it's a Yoda
They're
situation.
clearly aliens, all
Yep.
of them.
Yep. Especially with that fucking hand sign.
Yeah, we're just gonna do this in front of people and not consider the implications.
People do this gesture all the time, right?
Yeah,
This
it's
is
how you that's how you
I
do
am
that's how you
inhuman.
unscrew a light bulb.
hmm No, like they don't even walk that far away. They're just both doing it like clearly in front of them. They walked like 5 feet away. They're still in the
Yeah,
lobby.
there's no legitimate attempt to hide this
The
behavior.
humans think it's just them saying hello and like love you and all that. It's really just how the aliens had sex with them.
Yep.
God.
This is just like some kinky ass shit where they're fucking in front of people. But yeah, so then we get a feast of entirely mushrooms. Just entirely mushrooms. Everything that the old lady who works there, because there's three people. We've met the younger lady. We've met Numa, the alien, and now we meet like
Numa,
the
Numa,
older
Numa.
lady who like gives them this feast of like, here's some mushroom stew, here's some rice with mushrooms, here's this other mushroom dish, here's all the mushrooms you could want. You're gonna be
This
tripping
is the
balls by the
most.
end.
This is the most horrifying meal I've ever seen.
I mean, it. I don't know. You can do a lot with mushrooms here. Come on.
I'm not saying they can't. I'm just saying like you
There's
leaned
a
real
point where
hard
you
on one
stop.
thing. They leaned super hard on one thing and one thing only.
Guess what? The rice, not rice, mushrooms.
Again, this is just it's gonna turn out that this alien is just like trying to get his species high as fuck.
These are magic mushrooms.
Yep.
Dude, you imagine just find a galactic being and you just slip them the wrong mushrooms. Try this. Why people eat
Imagine the
these
trip you'd
every
have
day?
after what you've already seen.
But yeah, then we get like obviously Shu brings up, hey, did you guys see that weird fucking thing that the clerk and the owner were doing? Like, I'm not the only one that thought that was weird as fuck. Maybe they're aliens and we should kill them.
That's basically how that
They
goes
made
down.
coffee out
Yep.
of mushrooms? They all must die.
Then we get some more like Tremors shit, and we get the old
God,
lady
I wish we had
tells.
trimmer shit in this.
I mean, we kind of, if you want to consider Shagong,
No.
because we get Shagong again this episode. Spoilers.
We get several
We
spoilers.
do, which I'm actually happy about. I like that design a lot. But yeah, so we get Shagong causing some more tremors, and Numa freaks out and runs away.
Unrelated.
Yep.
They can go shag off.
Numa runs off, freaking out because of course, like they're grilling about. They're a scientific department that is connected to the Defense Force with a Defense Force member there who specializes in aliens, and he's the
Yeah.
alien. Of course, he fucking panics and runs.
Yeah, he blew his cool way too fast.
I think he blew his cool at a very appropriate point considering.
Well, he only blows his cool after Shu brings out the I can sense any kind of electromagnetic wave gun.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Basically.
Yep. It's the plot contrivance,
Man,
Judd.
he gets like once he finds him and like he's back in alien form, he is ready to execute him.
Oh yeah. No, he's like, oh, you're an alien bird. You're not even a humanoid alien anymore. I'm gonna fucking kill you with no regard.
Fucking threw him on his knees,
Didn't
gun to the back of the head,
Yep.
ready
didn't
to
even
go.
ask for papers.
I also don't get the impression that this universe gives people papers. That's a thing in other Ultra series, not in this one. I get the
This is an
impression.
MIB. They're not getting registered.
No, that is a big part of another series that I'm gonna have you guys watch, but that's not in this one.
It's the Men in Black.
That sounds problematic.
Yep.
Registration sounds very, very problematic.
So how do we like Numa's bird man design?
I hate the mustache, but I like everything else.
You hate his mustache underneath his beak.
Yes.
underneath the lower jaw of the beak.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
the I just headcanoned it to like a beard, and it was fine, but it looks like a mustache.
well,
No, I couldn't do that. Like it was like it's a pencil mustache. I'm like, huh?
no, it would be like if I shaved my beard, but then I left like a little thing right here in like a U
Something,
shape.
Guess what,
guys. It's very
everybody?
clearly
That's a Patreon goal.
no, guys. It's very clearly something that works in a drawing that you could never do IRL.
Yep. You could do it once, but you'd get some weird fucking looks, and you'd have to make some quick decisions on what to do afterward.
You're bringing a razor with you in your pocket.
Yep. If you
Like,
run into
I'm
anyone,
done with this now. That was 2 looks too many. How many
yep.
looks was it? 1.
That's one of those things where you're like, you go out in public, you like see someone attractive, and you start shaving it off in front of them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting rid
Do
of this.
you
This is
like
a bad
this?
idea.
I wasn't expecting this.
You get off, they come up. I was like, I liked you better with the mustache beard, and they just walk away.
No, at that point, you walk away
No.
because you realize that there's something deeply wrong with that person.
I was gonna say, like, that sounds like crazy. You don't fucks with crazy.
Yeah, but your
Yep.
crazy matches my crazy, so.
Yeah.
I mean, you had
It's
to
a
be
Deadpool
crazy to
reference,
try it,
haha.
so there's that.
So yeah,
I'll do
we
it.
get a little backstory on Numa. That Numa was an alien, like was part of an alien party that goes to different worlds to collect mushrooms.
I love how this series gives the title cards
Mhm.
the like boss battle things, like alien Oraco or whatever the
Yep.
fuck his name is.
Or a
But
choreo.
I love that they're literally defined as the activity. It's like
Yep.
the mushroom hunting alien. Like, that's his entire identity. That there's nothing more. I'm just like, I don't know if that one works. That sounds like a hobby. Like,
Dude.
it's like
Well,
Julia, the drum player person. Like, she has no other personality.
they couldn't call
Yep.
him the Numa guy, so.
They could call him the four-eyed beaked alien. I don't know. Like,
mm,
before it was more physical features, or like the characteristic feature that made them a threat, like the Earth Shaker or the boop your snoot.
yep.
I don't know.
But you got to
No,
remember,
I
this
would
guy
not
has
poop.
0 threat. He is a non-threat, so of course he gets. Well, he collects
It could have
mushrooms.
it could have easily been like Alien Oraco plays chess sometimes, alien.
Yes. If he had played chess in this episode, that would have been a viable option. They could have also called him guy who works the front desk alien.
The
Or
front desk alien.
Numa.
Anxious as fuck alien.
Anxious as fuck alien.
The alien without poker face.
Yep.
I don't know. He kind of feels like he has nothing but a poker face once he's transformed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for all we know, he's very
His birds
expressive
are
for his
incapable of
people.
expression.
I just hate the fact that he touches his eyes.
Well, yeah, because he's got to make sure they're moist. How do you know your eyes are moist unless you touch them?
Oh god, ooh no.
It's like a few years
Why
back.
lizards lick their eyeballs?
Dude, that was a big problem at one point where I don't remember which country it was, but like people were getting eye infections because they were kissing each other on the eyeballs.
Uh,
Yep.
That's how you get pink eye.
Yeah.
So imagine
That's
them
literally
trying
what
to French.
happens.
Yeah.
Now imagine them Frenching their eye socket and their tongue goes behind the eyeball and touches the little nerve ending back there.
I mean, isn't that what
I mean, you
happens
don't have
with
to go that
Himeno?
far. They come around the sides.
Again, isn't that what happened with Himeno?
Oh,
Now I'm sad.
now I'm sad too, and a little weirded out.
And intrigued and somewhat horny.
No. Now you are Himeno.
Yes.
Arrgh.
Give me your eye.
Yeah. So then Shu.
Don't do it.
So then Shu interrogates Numa at gunpoint because of course he does. And Yuma's like, "Hey,
My name
maybe we
is all I
shouldn't
heard.
ask him questions while he is on his knees with your gun against his head. Maybe this isn't an okay situation to be in."
One might call this a form of torture. And
Enhanced interrogation, sir.
Yeah, we are learning.
okay, Trevor.
But yeah. And then we get like, well, aliens are like sneaky people. 1 second. Aliens are like sneaky people. They, maybe they're gonna tell you all sorts of lies and such.
For a half second, I thought you were doing an Obama.
I don't think I can do an Obama. I can do like a vaguely Southern
Oh,
gentleman.
At
Well,
first, I thought he was doing like a deep, like Japanese accent. Like, okay, we're going here.
we tortured some folks.
Yeah.
Torture some folks. I
No.
mean, those are words that he said.
That's true.
I can't do a good Obama either, but it fits.
I can do a foghorn
Obama.
leghorn. I can do that. Now
Yeah,
you
do that.
see here. No, now you see. I'm just gonna say
You're
that,
just a country chicken. I'm just a country lawyer.
but I think that these aliens, they're quite sneaky people.
Oh, racist.
It's literally what he said.
I
That is
know,
almost
but
word
it's
for
like,
word what he said.
there's a good trick that I heard from another podcast. It's like, okay, if you need a racism test, make it black. Say the sentence, but replace the race with black and see how it sounds. If it sounds horrible, like, black people are just sneaky. Oh yeah, no, that's the feeling of racism.
Guess
Yep.
what? I'm clipping that.
Don't you do this. This was an example. This was clearly an example. Don't you take this out of context. Like my co-hosts are worse than people online.
No,
I'm
we're
clipping it, and I'm clipping it and making it into my soundboard.
You're just gonna push that every
Dude,
now and then.
the only way that you like you have to include the or some of the context. I do like this is I don't like it when y'all clip soundboard me. It really irritates the shit out of me. Like not in a funny way. It's the kind of way where I'm like, I'm not cool with this anymore. You need to find funnier clips of me, not the clips of me saying shit clearly out of context.
Oh, that's what makes it
I don't appreciate it.
Yeah. So now we got.
I already
Shagong.
talked with Scott about this.
So now we've got Shagong. Shagong's back. I still
How
appreciate
many
the fuck out of this
did we
design.
end up having? We had two
Yep.
in this episode, right? Or was there
Yeah.
three?
It was only two, I think, because towards the end, Ark kills the first one, and
Yeah.
with
So
that,
I was gonna bring that up. Also the soundtrack in this episode is kind of crazy,
Oh, yeah.
but like the interrogation soundtrack is really like kind of silly, and I was sitting there like, this is not appropriate.
no, it's
But
totally appropriate. I'm
uh,
just gonna interrogate this guy with a gun against his head. It's for fun. It's for shits and gigs.
yeah, man. Like I have it under control. That means the soundtrack can be lighthearted. No, it can't.
It's like,
Sorry.
I'm pretty sure,
Also-
like, if you would have
also,
shot this
like,
guy,
hearing-
his head would have exploded compared to what it does later on.
Yeah. But like Shu like is like yelling at some points in this scene. It's crazy.
Yep.
But I was gonna point out too, like at the conclusion of this battle, I think Ark is a little bit more brutal than Orb is, because Orb was all last episode being, well, we can return the kaiju to where it is. We can unupset nature, that kind of thing. This one, he like murks one of the Shagons and then looks at the other one and goes, and the other one fucks off.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And then he shot him in the back and killed that one
Yep.
too.
That would have been so fucking metal. Just like it's walking away, and
And war
Yeah, I was
cry.
gonna say at that point it really would have been an episode about police.
Yep. Oh,
And
dude,
we're
that
not monetizing this one.
Oh,
Yeah.
It would have been so like
I got a
like if
police joke after this.
Shu was the Ultra, that's how this episode would have ended instead. If it wasn't Yuma, if it was Shu, it would have ended with the Shagong
What
like
if though?
fleeing and him shooting it from behind.
Oh
Uh,
my god, it would have though.
yep. Nah, we'll get to the fight here in a few minutes because we're not too far off of it. But oh man, revisiting Shagong's design again. I love like the weird lights in its shoulders that keep like flashing.
Yeah, I think that's cool too. It kind of gives me Space Godzilla vibes.
Hmm.
I want to know what the shit is in that gun that Shu has. Like, how could he have possibly expected to fire that weapon at close range into the small alien if it makes impact explosions like it does on the
That's why I
Shagon?
said he would
Yeah,
have just murked him and exploded his head.
yeah, no,
Like it wouldn't have been like I think we would have like seen just a lower half like Darth Maul had just like been erased from the top
I
half
mean,
up.
everybody else has got like concussion damage.
Yeah, like everyone would have been blown back. That gun that he has, like, literally is noticed by this giant kaiju, and from the explosions that we see, I know it's miniatures. Come on, give me a break. But still, it's kind of crazy, right? Like that gun must pack. It must either have settings like set your blasters to stun,
mhm.
or if that's the only if it just fires ammo, that's a crazy weapon.
No,
No,
so
it's only got one setting:
It's just kill.
no, see, I
kill
hear
or safety.
It's kill
here's
or overkill.
my thought
There's
process
no
on this.
safety.
My thought process on this. There's many settings to this, but Shu only keeps it on the like highest setting.
It's
He,
always on
Okay.
11.
yep.
So my headcanon now is that because it has multiple settings, I'm saying that this series happens after Orb, and it has the goo gun from Orb as one of the settings.
Okay, I mean, if you want to go with that one,
I'm headcanon. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, Ultraman or Arc. Let's do this.
dude, I would say this if this is like supposed to be set in the same universe as Orb, like first of all,
You know that they're using Shin's tech for this.
dude, so I will say there is in a different Ultra series, they make a gun that can replicate an Ultraman's beam attack.
Oh, that's not okay. It just in a pistol.
She was
Yeah, it's
just
just a pistol that shoots Ultra
waiting for
beams.
that.
You're not allowed to hold that.
She was like,
That's that's
one more promotion, and I get my gun.
that's like the noisy cricket. Like that's a big gun. It's a big.
No, it's actually a very tiny gun. It's like,
Yeah,
But yeah,
the
so we also
beam.
get some backstory on that the owner of the inn has known that Numa's been an alien the entire time, which again lends credence to the whole like them like picking up on each other's mannerisms and like them like her becoming more alien in her demeanor because she's been hanging out with this
Yeah,
alien
it's like
forever.
it's like picking up an accent when you go back home.
Mhm. It's like it's like when Gary Oldman had to learn how to have a British accent again
Yeah.
because he played Commissioner Gordon too well, which is a real thing. People, you can look that up. He lost his original accent. He had to do like he had to take lessons to sound like himself again.
That's terrible.
oh my god.
Yeah, it's a real thing, and I
That's
fucking love
that's
that.
committing to the bit a little too hard.
Dude, he goes meta, like hard meta. He was just talking in the Commissioner Gordon voice for months.
Yeah, that'll make it stick, I imagine.
Yep. Yeah. Uh, so we get the transformation into Arc. and then we get the fight against two Shagongs, which I was a little annoyed that we were reusing a kaiju design as early as we are, but I appreciate upping the stakes by having two instead of one. Plus, we get like
Yeah, it's at least a little different, right?
mm. Plus we get one of the cooler energy attacks, which I'm looking at right now, where he makes that energy barrier, he tosses it in the air, then he makes the slasher, tosses it in the air, and they like combine to create this fucking like spinning energy, like it's a circle with like one big ass blade sticking out of it, swinging around that just cuts a Shagong in half.
Did that one cut him in half?
Yeah, it cut one of them in half. Well, it
So
didn't. I
did there end up being 3 then?
So I'm watching at like 22 minutes.
Yeah. I'm at. Wasn't there one at like 17 minutes?
I think it's
Yeah, because I'm at
one of the two.
like 1650, and that's when he
Yeah, that's
does a
what I'm talking about.
blade twirl and blows one up after slicing and dicing.
There might have been more than 2.
Maybe I could see there potentially being three. Also, I'm looking at the subbed version, so if you guys are on the dubbed one, it might be different time points because they keep the Japanese commercials in, which
There are 3.
oh, okay, all right, right on.
Because at 18 minutes, he's fighting one while trying to stare down the other one who's
Oh yeah,
in the building.
that's right. Yep,
So he ends
yep.
up killing 2 of them.
Yes, he kills two.
Should have finished the species off. Chew would have been approved.
No, it's from Earth. He doesn't give two shits. It's only if they're from space. Because he's spacist. We also get the return of the solar armor, the sun armor, the soulless armor, I think. Um, Again, it's okay. I have problems with this armor, but I think I'm gonna have problems with all the armors for Arc. Which apparently there are
He looks
three.
top heavy with it.
There's so apparently there's three. They had like a stage show one that hasn't been in anything other than the stage show where it's like his Saturn armor. And I'm curious about that.
He just has a ring floating around him.
Hmm Yes. It's just like one fucking ring. Um yeah, no, it's like the fights themselves are pretty okay in this. Again, I kind of miss like in the first three episodes how creative they were with the cinematography. I feel like
Yeah, they definitely lost that.
yeah, and like I imagine it'll pick back up. I gotta look um into who directed those episodes to see if maybe that's just like something they're into. Speaking of though,
Yeah, there were
because
far fewer miniatures to admire in this
yeah,
episode.
although part of that might just come from the setting. Again, it's kind of what it's kind of what is what Ginga had a problem with, where like it was very limited by what the setting was. You couldn't do a whole lot. And this episode's set in the country, so you get like mountainscape, and that's it. But yeah, so I'm gonna bring up because I remember it now. This episode was written by Jun Sugita, who worked on. I'm not familiar with. Oh, Ultras. Oh yeah, I was looking into that. He worked on uh the last. He wrote one episode of Ultraman Z, two of Trigger and Decker, and then he wrote a bunch of episodes of Blazar before becoming the head writer for this series.
Yeah,
Oh,
Blizzard.
interesting.
Yeah, he wrote one of our favorite episodes, Josh, Light and Flame.
Ooh.
Yeah. And he also wrote The Wandering Zangle. And he wrote the episode about the fucking evil washing machine.
Yeah.
Yep. That is a
Don't
real
ask
thing.
Alex.
Okay.
Just know it does have a name.
It does, yes.
Of course it does.
Yeah. All machines have names, which is why we're gonna get a new, different AI robot in the next episode.
Oh God.
Is it the coffee machine?
No, we get a variant on UP called Chappie.
No, I've seen that movie. That means it's gonna be a boxer.
Yep.
And like drugs.
Yep. But yeah,
Nothing scarier than a robot on drugs.
Numa's ship tries to take off, then he, gets downed, and he survives the crash.
He does the noble
Yeah,
Yep,
sacrifice.
yep. He saves them all and then manages to survive, which means he fucked up the noble sacrifice because he didn't die.
Not only
Yeah.
that is he survives, walks away from the ship,
Hmm.
hides, and when they're all crying, walks out, be like, "I survived."
I decided I was gonna Huck Finn you guys. Go fuck yourselves.
Should have waited for the funeral. Would have been more impactful.
Yeah.
And then still goes to prison.
Yep.
Pretty
Still.
much.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was like, "Nope, nope. You might have done good, but we
Procedure is
have to
procedure.
execute you.
Yeah.
We'll just do it away from these people."
No, this episode, like 2 minutes after the end of the episode, you just hear a fucking bang, and that's the end of the actual episode.
Terrible.
Yuma's like really fucking depressed the next episode. No, that's why next week's episode doesn't follow any of our main characters.
Yeah.
You
They're
just hear
recovering.
Shu. They go, "Fucking mushroom coffee."
Yep. Also, I love that, like, so the whole like hand gesture thing. She was like, yeah, that's why I knew why he was an alien. He could go fuck himself. And Ian was like, I don't know. It seemed kind of like friendly and warm. That's why I liked him.
Funny how we saw the same thing and yet interpreted it completely differently.
It's almost like maybe
Guess you
you're a
have more
racist, Shu.
imagination.
You mean spacious?
Yes. Yeah. So then they arrest Numa for being an alien and for
Numa,
invading our borders, taking our jobs at the fucking
That's right.
inn, not being a productive member of society.
That job could have gone to a citizen.
Yes.
But
And
then they would have to work.
then we get the introduction of what the next episode will be about, which is some other dude talking with Chappie, which is maybe a worse version of UP, which upsets me.
And the title's called Juggler Dies Again.
Yes.
Wrong series.
Dude, I would fucking I would let's just say if Juggler appeared in this show, I would be so happy and so ready to find out what happened. I would also have to like we would
Crossover.
I would have at that point I'd be like, all right guys, listen, we have to sit down and we have to watch like 50 episodes of Ultraman in the next 2 days. So you guys are ready for this?
Dear God.
50 episodes in at least 2 movies. Yeah.
I love how they give Juggler like a Latin name. Like his first and last name are the same thing. It's
Yeah.
like it's like a fucking like you know what? Do you know what the Latin name for gorillas are?
No.
It's
El Gorilla.
no, it's gorilla.
Hell yeah. Hell
I'm not
yeah.
even kidding.
Do they use
Like
Hashtag
guerrilla
jugless
jugular
tactics?
jugulus or some shit like that. I'm like, okay.
Jugless juggler.
There it is.
Yep.
There it is.
Yeah. This was a fun episode. I'm curious to see where this is gonna go after we get the clip show episode next week.
It will
And
be interesting.
this also makes me wonder if every clip show we're gonna be following a different variant on UP.
Please, oh god.
This one has
Why do you?
slightly closed eyes.
Okay, so that bothers me with the Numa's design as well. He has no
The
eyelids. His eyelashes just go across his eye, so he's constantly got a hair in there.
Yep.
And it bugs me.
That's yeah.
It was only there for expression.
Yeah. It was so you could make him look sad.
But he always looks sad.
Yeah, that's the point. He's always sad.
So he is human.
No, it just means he's gonna turn into a really shitty version of the Hulk. Alright.
The
Any
Blue
final
Hulk.
Disney's
Yes.
She-Hulk?
Wow.
I actually
I
liked
said
that
it.
show, sadly.
He's out of a bit.
I actually sadly liked that show. But I liked it.
Wow. So literally, no matter who's here, one of the two of you canceled us for every audience member.
Yep.
Hey, but you know what? At least we finally went an episode without saying anything about Anne Hathaway.
Get in the comments. You know what Anne Hathaway did.
I waited.
that
I
was
waited so long.
that was a good build.
Why?
She knows what
Dude.
she did.
Yeah.
No.
She made that decision. She chose to
Yes.
be in that movie.
So did what's his name?
You're
Jason
watching this. I'm
Sudeikis.
sorry.
Yes.
Jason Sudeikis. You're a fucking robot.
Did nothing wrong, and that no.
You're,
What the fuck?
you're a
so much
fucking
wrong.
robot. You're a fucking tool, Jason Sudeikis of Ted Lasso fame.
Jason, I just want to say I really love everything that you're in.
Yeah.
This is all.
Where the Millers was an alright movie. Alright, any final
I
thoughts?
love More Than Milk.
Any final thoughts on this one?
Looking
I
forward
said
to-
mine.
Yep.
Looking forward to seeing some different armor variants. He needs like something going on other than just from the waist up. He looks very top heavy.
Guess what? You're not gonna get that.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not.
Tune in next time.
He will be bottomless.